Hey, Nicola Grace, the Mission Mentor here on this Q&A on the Purpose to Profit formula. For those of you who are doing my 5-day challenge, and for those of you who aren't but wanting to build a purpose-aligned business, you get to ask questions as well. So let me tell you why I'm doing this live broadcast, what the agenda is for today, and when we're going to be able to answer those questions. So for those of you who have arrived and watching this live, and also for those of you who are watching the replay of this, you can say hi in the chat box. All you need to do is say hi. I'm just going to put in a comment here. So say hi and introduce yourself, and we'll get going in just a moment. There we go. So if you're watching the replay of this, you can still ask a question and I will just answer it and tag you in the post, in the comment section below. So the reason why I wanted to do this special Q&A, I'm also going to be talking about some of the mistakes that I'm seeing a lot of entrepreneurs making, new entrepreneurs, is the people that are going through my 5-day challenge to build a purpose-aligned business are filling out surveys and strategy assessments so that they can get really clear on different aspects of their purpose and their business. And as I'm watching those come into my email and I'm looking at people's answers, I'm seeing that the overwhelming majority of people that are wanting to build a profitable business do not have the right mindset, do not have the right attitude, and aren't set up properly to succeed. Now, at the beginning of the year, I set out to really go after the statistic that we've got 90% of people going into business failing, ending up in debt, and not being able to make a living from their business. Now, in the 1940s, that statistic was only 48%. So when you think about it, from the 1940s to now, despite the fact that we've got lots of gurus out there, business seminars, coaching, education, free stuff online about how to build a business, the actual trajectory of your ability to succeed is going down, and we need to stop that and turn it around. Now, part of the reason why people aren't succeeding, we've been told, is they don't have enough knowledge and they don't ask for help with that knowledge, that in which it goes to mindset. They don't have the experience. But I also think a lot of it has to do with the model is wrong, because if 100% of the people can't succeed at it, then the model's wrong. So that is the impetus today for me doing this Q&A and being there available for you and help you with your mission to have a business that's based on your purpose. So the agenda for today is, let me just have a look over here. I'm going to look at what are some of the mistakes that I'm seeing people that are making that are on the challenge. For those of you who are not doing the challenge, later on I'll drop the link so you can go and sign up to do that. It's free, no charge. So what are the mistakes that people are making? And what are people doing who are succeeding? Like, why, what's different about those 10% that are succeeding? We're going to open up for question and answers. So as we go through, fire away with your questions. And towards the end, around about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I'm going to go into answering those questions. And then I'm going to talk about, what if you don't have the money to get started in a business? Because I'm seeing this a lot, and there's a lot of myths and fallacies out there about being able to start up a business without money, and how do you get over that leap? Because if you can't get a job or you really want a business but you don't have the money, where do you start? So we're going to answer that one as well. So let's start at the top. And again, for those of you who are just joining me, watching this live, please say hi in the comments so I don't feel like I'm on my own. And again, if you're watching the replay, say hi also, because I can respond through Facebook. So let's have a look at some of the mistakes that I'm seeing people making as I'm reading these strategy assessments and surveys that are coming through. The first one has to do with mindset, and the second one has to do with attitude. As I'm looking at the answers, I'm asking a question like, where were you at in terms of your feeling of how successful you were at last year? So if you look at where are you and where have you come from rather this last year on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, as in feeling really successful, and 1 being the lowest, where do you sit? The majority of people coming to me to do the challenge are sitting around about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very few people over 6, and then a handful of people at around 7, 8, 9, and only 1 person at 10. So the majority of people aren't happy with where they're at, which is perfect, because that's what my program is about, helping you, get over that hump. So what I'm also seeing in that question here is like, where are you at? So on a scale of where you feel with your success, it's really low. But now here's what's happening with those are the people that have got a really low success score. When I ask the question, what's your income target? I kid you not, 100% of the people who weren't successful or didn't feel they were very successful last year have said that their income target is either under $50,000 in your currency, whatever that is, or they don't have a target at all. Now, the people who say that last year it felt like 7, 8, 9 was around about where I am with my level of success, they all had an income target, they all had a goal that they're working towards in terms of how much money they want to make, and they all had it over 80,000. So most of them they want to make their first 6 figures. A lot of them said, I want to get to 80,000. Some of them even said they want to make $250,000 or $500,000. So there is a relationship between how successful you think you feel you are, and whether or not you actually have a target to be successful, and what that is for you financially, as well as how high you aim for your income. And people are aiming way too low for the income that they want to generate. I'm not going to go into that too much now, because I've made a separate video on that, and you can go over, again, I'll drop a link in here, you can go over to the page to watch that video, and it talks about why it's important to have income targets and what it is that you want to you want to achieve and all that kind of thing. So that's a separate video. So that's number one mistake, not having an income target and not having a link, like not seeing the link that last year didn't go so well because you didn't have a target. You had nothing for the universe to say, oh, that's what you want? Okay, great. Well, we're going to gravitate all your experiences to create that. So that's the first thing that you have to do. The other mistake that I'm seeing people make is attitude. Like, wow, like I get it that there's a lot of inauthentic people in my industry, in the coaching and mentoring industry, in the online training industry. I get it, there's a lot of marketing hype, and I get it that for some of you, you've done a lot of programs, but you're still not where you're at. Now, you'll know through the challenge that one of the reasons that could be is that you did those programs before you got your foundation in place. And my program is the foundation and the walls, right? You have to have your business structure in place in order to go and learn how to market yourself, or go and learn how to do teleseminars, or learn how to blog and get clients, or learn how to get clients. You have to have your business model in place first. You have to have your niche in place first, your offers, and all of those things that are going to align you to your purpose. Then whatever course you do from that, you've got something to work with. Whereas if you go ahead and do a training course or a coaching course, you could be doing it at the wrong time. So it's not necessarily the course's fault. Then I also understand that there are charlatans out there and they're just not delivering, and I apologize for that. It's not what I'm like. I'm an over deliverer. Excuse me. But I do comprehend that would make you feel really jittery, and it would shift your attitude. So what I'm seeing in the surveys coming through is there's this real attitude of, why would you want to know that? Or I'm not going to tell you that. And it's a real chip on the shoulder attitude. And unfortunately, that isn't the attitude that's going to get you to the success that you want. I'm not saying you need to be vulnerable, especially if you've been ripped off before. You just need to learn about why that happened and where it was that you were out of alignment when you made that decision. So the next time you make a decision to invest in anything, then it's going to work better for you because you're making it from a solid foundation. So really, that attitude is so important because that's the majority of your success. Yes, you can do all of these things and get all these bells and whistles and shining arrangements. Excuse me, I've been getting laryngitis quite a bit lately because I'm speaking a lot. So I do apologize for that. So yeah, getting back to that attitude thing, you can do all of the actions, but if the attitude isn't there, it's going to be very difficult for you to succeed, because you're going to be tripping yourself up with that attitude. And I'm seeing that a lot. So the one part of the attitude is remaining open, and I'm not saying gullible, I'm saying open, not skeptical, because you can always make a decision you're not going to do something, but at least you're doing it from an open perspective rather than an expectation that what happened to you in the past is going to happen to you again. Because guess what? If you have that expectation, then you're setting yourself up for, something to come in and continue to disappoint you. So you have to shift the attitude, like just go, boom, I'm shifting the attitude right now. You can do that with me right now. Use your hands. Shifting the attitude to be open, because I trust that I'm going to make the right decision this time, because I learned my lessons from when it didn't work out before, right? So that's the shift. The second part of the attitude is thinking that you can build a business without investing any money. So here's the deal. The relationship between the people that said they weren't successful last year in their business and the people who only spent something like about $500 in the whole year to market themselves, that there's a relationship between that. Now, the people who felt 7, 8, 9 was their level of success, you could see that they'd invested at least $500 a month, right? Not just over the whole year, but a month, in marketing themselves and getting themselves out there, and so they had greater levels of success. So there's a relationship between how you market yourself, that you market yourself, and what you invest in, and the success that you get. Now, I know you can do a lot of marketing and not get your return on your investment. And that's one of the reasons why I'm really glad you're doing my 5-day challenge, because it's going to show you where you need to focus. Because too many people focus on doing marketing in an area where they have no mojo. You need to have mojo for your marketing to work, right? You don't just want to spend money in advertising here, there, and everywhere if that isn't your mojo. In fact, that's a very, very quick way for you to lose money. But there are other things that you can use to market yourself, like being in masterminds, being in networking groups, being in joint venture groups that cost a small amount of money on a month-on-month basis or over the year, and they can grow your business really quickly. So you want to be looking at that, because the relationship between those that are investing more in marketing themselves and those that are not is the difference between feeling like you had a successful year. Now, freeze frame here on the word success. In my community, success means you're happy, you're fulfilling your purpose, you feel like you're making a contribution, and you're getting rewarded for that, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you're really big and you're earning lots of money. Success is going to be defined, obviously, in your terms, but the cornerstone of it is that you're really happy and you're really joyful about what you're doing. So there's a mindset shift that needs to occur. Now, the other attitude is that thinking you can do it on your own. I couldn't do it on my own, and like, I went to university and I've had a lot of experience and I get a lot of help, and I still feel like I need somebody to guide me, because there's so much out there these days that's changing so fast. It's not possible for me to know everything. So what I've seen in the challenges surveys and in the strategy sessions are those that are feeling not successful, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6, feeling like, oh, I really didn't have a successful year last year. And the amount of money they invested in coaching was either zero, right, or not even realizing that they actually needed to get help in a business. Then that's related. When people that were feeling 7, 8, 9, feeling, yes, I'm really successful, I'm almost there, I'm getting there, the amount of money they were investing in coaching was substantially higher, and they were investing in it, so they were feeling like they were on track and they were getting there. Now, I do get that you've got to choose your coaches wisely and you've got to choose your program wisely, but again, it comes back to what you're learning in the 5-day challenge. Get your foundation in place first. That's the first level of help that you want to get, right? What is your business? What is your business model? Who's your niche? Does it align to your purpose? How to align it to your purpose? What direction do you need to go in? What are your messages? These are all the foundation of a business that's based on your purpose. You have that, you get that right, and then everything else can be built upon from there. So the other thing that I want to say just about not thinking that you can build your business by doing a whole lot of free stuff until you make money. It's a myth, unfortunately, that has been perpetuated by the internet marketing community. I've been internet marketing for 22 years now. The very first internet marketing course I did was with Corey Riddell, who was a successful business owner, went online, got success, turned around, started teaching other business owners how to build businesses and be successful online. Very, very first internet marketing course ever on the internet. I did that with him. So I've been online seeing all of the trends coming and going, seeing all of the bells and whistles and the false promises. So people who are either a bit lazy or they don't really understand how money is made buy the myth that you can build a business without any money and without actually putting too much time and effort into it. Please, please, please shift that attitude if that's you. It's a myth. So if you've been struggling over the last year because you haven't been investing, you know why. It's like you're not going to get there by doing that. There's a lot of stuff you can do for free, and you should do all of these free courses that are available to you if it's the next piece that you need, if it gives you just a little bit of information to keep you going. But at some stage you've got to get seriously and invest. So that brings me to the last question, and if you've got any, the last part of my agenda rather, if you've got any questions that you want to ask me, now's the time, because I'm going to start answering them in just a moment. A lot of people really doing it tough out there financially at the moment, coming through the 5-day challenge, and they're saying to me, okay, so I hear you when you say I need to invest in marketing, I need to invest in coaching and learning, and I need to invest in my business and myself, but I'm in debt, I'm struggling on a week-on-week basis. What do I do, right? I can't borrow the money, my family won't give me the money, I've got nothing to sell. That's how bad it's got for them. So I know that place, because if you know my story, I had a fantastic, really successful business that went belly up. I got cancer, I got really sick, I took on a business partner and lost everything, gone. So I even lost my savings, I lost my retirement fund, I lost everything. So I had to go right back to the very beginning and start all over again and create something out of nothing. So I know what it's like not to have any money and to have to create something out of nothing. That's what entrepreneurs do. We create something out of nothing. So the answer to that question, how do I, start a business, or how do I get the money so I can start a business when I'm in debt and I've got nothing? And there's a lot of answers to that. From a practical perspective, try and sell everything that you don't need, and then use that to invest in marketing yourself, right? So that you get a return on that investment. But mostly, and this goes back to the very beginning, you need an attitude shift. It's like, boom, shift that attitude. Because as a worker, you don't need to learn how to make money. You don't need to make mistakes. In fact, you get fired for making mistakes. And it's very difficult to create something out of nothing, because you're getting lists of things to do from your superiors that you have to do, right? That attitude will not help you survive in a business. So if you've not done a business before, or you're new to business, or you've done a few businesses and it's never succeeded, chances are you're still operating on old software from when you had a job, or you're at work, or you're at school, where you get reprimanded for making mistakes, where you have to know everything and you've got to do everything on your own to get there. That you just wipe that attitude, clean that software up, upload the new software, because entrepreneurs play business the way that we play rugby. And I was just talking to a client of mine this morning about this, and she said, well, that's a really good analogy, so I'd like to share it with you. In rugby, the success of the game is going to be how good the team plays at passing the ball backwards to someone who's running faster than them to carry the ball over the line. And yes, every now and then, a player can run the entire field, but that's very rare, right? It's mostly that the ball gets advanced to the goal line by passing it backwards. So that analogy in business is, who's running faster than me? Who's doing it better than me? Who knows more than me? Who's already on a roll? So all I need to do is turn around and say, hey, give me a helping hand, and they come running in front of you and then lead you to where you get to the goal. Does that make sense? So you advance your business by passing the ball backwards. As an entrepreneur, I'm always looking at who knows more than me, who knows better than me. I don't pretend that I know everything. I'm a genius in my genius zone. You're a genius in your genius zone, but you're not a genius everywhere else. I'm not a genius everywhere else. So who are the players that are going faster than you and they're coming up to help you and support you move that ball across to the goal line? So that's an attitude of looking for people to help you. That's a very different attitude from somebody who is an employee in a job going, I have to figure out all of this on my own, otherwise I'm going to get fired and I can't make mistakes, right? Richard Branson says if you want to be successful, make mistakes faster. And it's a true thing in entrepreneurship. Completely different from a job. You make mistakes faster in a job, you've lost that job, haven't you? So again, attitude, mindset shift. Let's come right into that shift right now of being prepared to take risks and knowing you can't do it on your own. You need to look for people around you who can help you get you there, and you want to do that strategically. You want to start with getting your foundation in place first, know what your business is, know your message, know your niche, know your purpose, know the offers that you're going out with, and then you can start looking at how am I going to market myself and do all of those amazing things out there that show you how to get clients and how to market yourself and so on. There's no point doing that. That's a waste of money if you haven't got that foundation right. So I'm just going to let you ask questions if anybody's listening live, and again, those of you who are watching this as a replay, you can still ask your questions in here and I will get back to you and tag you in the post in Facebook. So now's the time you want to ask those questions so I can answer them live. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off in just a moment. So here's the bottom line while I'm just waiting for questions to come through. Here's the bottom line. You need to know how to make money. And if you don't know how to make money, like if you're asking me the question, oh, how do I come up with, money to start up my business? It's a great question. I'm glad you asked it. There's something missing in your ability to know how to make money. So I want you to all of a sudden have that ability to make money right now by doing an attitude shift and go, okay, great. Well, let me just write down all of these ideas that I've got that gets the juices running, right? That starts everything flowing. So then once you've got that happening, choose a different question. So instead of how do I make money, you want to say, bring to me, my creative genius self, all of the opportunities that I can do that are in alignment with my purpose that will help me make money fast. And sometimes that might be a job or a part-time job. And if you've got a part-time job and you don't like it, then get a job that's more in alignment with something that you love, or go and work for a company that is doing something that you love. Don't stick around in an unhappy situation because it's not magnetic. It's not going to help you. You want to look for something else. And I think it's really important that you do that. If you're struggling for financially, get a part-time job, go work for somebody while you're building your business, while you're building money to invest in your business so that you're building your foundation and you have got money coming in so all your basic needs are taken care of as you go, right? Because you just need to get that handled. So that's that. Now, the only caveat I have on that, or the exception I have on that, is if you're like me and you've been an entrepreneur before and you've had a successful business before and you're starting from scratch again, then you know how to make money and you can just go out there and hustle up some clients just like that. And then money comes into you, right? So you know how to make money. So just go out and hustle. Hustle, 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 right? Offer, 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 offer. Offer people your services. Offer people amazing programs that you've got. And generate the income that way. So those are two options for two very different states of being where you're at. But if you're in that state where you're asking all the time, or I've got no idea how to make money, first of all, we need to stop that and just say, hey, creative genius within me just start bringing to me those opportunities to do that, those inspired thoughts. You have to start somewhere, and that's where you want to start. Okie dokie. So I see that because this is a new URL and not the one I advertised, you're probably all over in the new URL, the old one rather. So I'm going to finish up here. If you're watching the replay again, please ask your questions, or if you want any clarification, you can. I'll drop all the links that I mentioned about the 5-day challenge if you haven't done the 5-day challenge, and that I've spoken about in here for you, so that you can just quickly, easily link over. And I will tag you and answer your questions if you drop them below. That's it for me. Thanks so much for listening all the way to the end. Bye for now.